let's do step number 6. Believe you're amazing, because you talked about how it was really hard for you because of belief systems that were,
That's right.
even maybe thrown at you, your environment, being shamed. For someone that, and I can feel it if I connect to people, that they're so tied in with their core trauma
Hmm.
that it's going to take a lot to click them and just look at it.
Hmm.
Is there a tool to unlock that vault that we fucking protect?
Yeah. I mean, look, first of all, we have to recognize that no trauma is too big that can be healed. And we have to stop wearing our mental illness as a badge of honor. We have to stop wearing our trauma as a badge of honor. And I know it's really edgy for people to hear, but I'm telling you, as someone who's experienced suicidal ideation for years, I'm telling you, as someone who was at the bottom of the pit for years, like that view that you are your mental illness, that you are your negative emotions, that you are your past, that's got to go, honey. So we got to claim that shit right away and say, okay, I'm aware that this little part of me is experiencing this. I'm aware that this part of me is hooked and trapped in that narrative, but that doesn't define who I am. And believing you're amazing asks you to reconnect to the benevolence, asks you to reconnect to the part of you that we all have, that is always at ease, that's always relaxed, it's always wise, it's always knowing, always creative as fuck. And one practice
Right.
that I guide people on, and in the book there's a variety of practice. The practice book, right, asks you to really look at your shit. It's my job to make you uncomfortable just enough where things will click and
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh shit, honey, I'm a little bit free today. Hey,
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love
woke
it.
up feeling a little bit better today, going to sleep feeling a little bit more relaxed. What else is there, than that? It's called the spiritual high heels. So what I want you to do, and doesn't matter what kind of who you are, what kind of gender you go by. It's this practice called the spiritual high heels. So anyone could do it. It's tippy toes. Imagine if you're wearing these really high heels. Roll your shoulders back, and I want you to walk like a spiritual supermodel, strutting from the longest hallway in your house, or from the kitchen to the living room. My kitchen to my living room is a really long space like that. So I want you to walk and body the most sensual, sexy version of yourself. And I want you to visualize as you're walking up and down, as like, and I don't know if you have a fashion reference for you, but Naomi Campbell has a gorgeous 90s walk,
She
honey.
does.
Yeah. So I want you to look at that walk and for you to visualize what I'm telling you, or just go on my Instagram. You see me doing that walk all the time. Uh, so this walk is a deeply spiritual work. It's a deeply spiritual, it's an embodied spiritual practice. It's not intellectual healing. Nothing that I will show you here, it's intellectual. It's very much about embodying the transformation, actualizing at the heart. So you're going to be walking up and down with beautiful music, with sexy clothes, and you're going to visualize in your mind the whole world celebrating your beauty, the whole world celebrating your amazingness, the whole world wishing you well,
Mm.
the whole world loving you. How often we enter the world feeling unsafe, feeling like the world is a bad place, that the world's a bad place, therefore I can't thrive, I'm not worthy of being amazing, and all the stories will populate. So spiritual high heels, walk up and down like a spiritual supermodel and visualize the world wishing you well. Start there.
When you were just explaining that, I went
uh,
into that moment and did it. And I immediately felt this like
ah,
orgasmic, yes, like
boom.
if just huge
Hey,
amount of love. Like, oh my gosh, that feels so good. Cause you're right. We're so used to maybe being judged by family, friends, you name it, the world. But
that's
to
right.
connect to that divine love and appreciation, even if it's in your imagination, your cells don't know the difference. Your
That's right.
cells,
That's
you're,
right.
I can imagine how that kind of practice
Right.
alone would help
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah. So doing it every morning, it's like to start your day, and enter into that place. And then here's what I have to ask you to do as well. You're receiving the blessings from all beings, all the wise beings, right? From everywhere, seen and unseen. You're receiving their blessings. You're really in that receiving mode. And then what I need you to do is become a blessing factory as you enter the world. What does that mean? You're driving everyone to stop at the red light around you. Maybe happy, maybe happy, maybe happy, maybe happy, maybe happy. As you enter the
Oh,
supermarket, we're all in fear. We're all contrived. We're all a little bit tight. Don't get trapped in that. Offer a blessing. May you be happy, may you be happy, may you be happy, may you be happy, may you live with ease, may your life not be a struggle, may you be happy. You're walking, you're running, whatever you're doing, be a blessing factory. If you want to feel amazing, you have to offer amazingness out there. And I'm not asking you to say it out loud. I'm asking you to just visualize. It's a silent blessing in your mind. And you do the combination of the spiritual high heels with the blessing factory. It's guaranteed that your internal world will change fast. And then you're like, oh shit, I thought that shit was bullshit, that spiritual high heel, the blessing factory. I thought that all that stuff was just a spiritual giggle. But no, honey, all of a sudden I'm like, walking around the world. I'm not walking around like this anymore. If people can see me, I'm walking around like this. And my fists are not tight. I'm not clenching my jaw. I'm not biting my nails. I'm not jittery and doing all this stuff to distract myself. I'm an embodied permission slip in the world. Ooh, oh, what happened?
Sah, listen, I interviewed a lot of motherfucking spiritual people on this journey, and I don't know where you came from, but I am in love with you.